Blood Gemara. Oh, wow. Today's daf is daf Chav Tes, and we'll start from the bottom of the page. We're talking about here, how long do you have to keep the item that you found? So we said it depends. If it's something that raises revenue, you have to keep it for a longer period, and then it pays itself. And eventually, then you can sell it and change it into money. We had an argument from amongst the strain where you sell it to yourself or somebody else. And if it's something that does not bring in any revenue, then depending what it is, you keep it for a shorter time and then you turn it into money. So up to the bottom of the page, we had a machlekes and a mishnah between Rabbi Kiva and the Chachami. That money, can you use the money or not? Rabbi Tarfa said you can use the money, and if you lose it, therefore you're responsible. And Rabbi Kiva says you cannot use the money, and if you lose it, therefore you're not responsible. Okay, that's machlekes okay with Tarfa. Says the Gemara on the bottom of the page, Chav Chesed base. If it does not, sorry, the very bottom. What should happen to the money? So I'm actually up to two lines of money. Does not bring in any revenue. I mean, you should return to him an item, something of item. So we darshan you should consider how you return it to him. Let's say you found a few calves. You don't take one of his calves and feed it to the rest. Or say, a little donkey for the rest of the donkeys, or avzol, or sacrifice one of the geese for the other ones, the tanagoylin, or the hens for the other hens. Don't do that. In other words, consider in a way that the guy doesn't incur a loss, because here you just cause the guy a loss by sell it straight as soon as you need to sell it and convert it to money. And money you can just leave it until the person comes and gives you a siman on whatever it was that he had to issue. So you have to record what the siman is. The only argument is if you used it, they're arguing if you used it. So Rabbi Tarfon says that then you're responsible for everything that happens, and the it seems to me if you didn't use the money, then if you got lost, you are potter. Now, what kind of shamer is it that is potter from a geneva vaved if it got lost? A shamer achina, but shamer is responsible. Now remember, we had a machlekes gemara in the Dorim, and we also had Bava Kama. A shamer aveda, what is his status? Rabba and Rabbi Yosef. Rabba said, you're a shamer chinam. You do the guy a favor. Rabbi Yosef said, you're a shamer sacher. And what was the reason Rabbi Yosef said, you're a shamer sacher? Because while at the time I'm tending to this item, if a poor person comes to me, I'm potter from giving that person tzedakah. So I gained something from here, and therefore you consider a shamer sacher. Now, there's a beautiful Rashi in the Durham, which we know isn't really Rashi, but a Talmud Rashi, but a very Chassidish Rashi. Rashi learns there that Rabbah says that you are Shemechin, you're not a Shemesach. What does that mean? He doesn't believe in this idea of Isik Mitzvah, Potter, and a Mitzvah. So Tesis and others try and learn, how common is it that just when you're taking care of the Aveda, a poor person comes along and asks for money? How often does that happen? So but Rashi there says that there's no way in the world that a Yid is going to use that as an excuse not to give tzedakah. That's the l'shkiach. But however, there's a third opinion of Shainim that actually Rabbah doesn't believe in the whole principle of Eis Mitzvah, Potzah Mitzvah, which we had the opinion of Shmuel, according to many, in third page of Masechta Sukkah. And so on. So let's continue about here. So it seems, so what are we leading to here? It seems only because he used it. If he didn't use it, the loss of potter. In other words, you're Shemechinam. Rabbi Yosef. Kash Rabbi Yosef. We learned, Shemer Aveda, you're somebody who's watching an Aveda, Rabba, Shemechinam. Rabbi Yosef says, Shemesachah. Clearly here that everyone holds you're merely a Shemechinam. It's only if you use the money. We have an argument of time from Kiv if you're allowed to use the money and so on. Rabbi Yosef, no, everyone knows that you're chayiv, because like me, you're chayiv for gnei avedis. What's keep pligi ba'oins in the show? They're arguing here. When he says here avedi, he means an oinus. Now who's chayiv and oinsin? Only a shayla borrower. No, if you use the money, you're a borrower. And Kiv says, I'll use the money. Says we'll see the means the word aveda usually means aveda. It's not an oinus. Allowed you to use the money. You're a shayl on it. In other words, even before you use the money, the fact that you have a right to use the money makes you already into a shayl. Rabbi Akiva holds don't allow you to use the money. Have a shayl, like not a shayl. But what are you? A shayl mesachar, because of the Hanoi hands.
You can't keep the payments. So much, let's say there was a chicken and
you convert it into money, but it's not yours. It's all there. What's that whole story there? What do you think? Talking about, are you responsible? No, no one says you're allowed to keep the money. You wasn't allowed to use the money while it's at your place. You'll put it back.
That's what it means a shayl.
Yeah, exactly. So Habakiva, if you're allowed to use the money, therefore you're a shayl. Habakiva says you're not allowed to use the money, therefore you're not a shayl. But
I know from it that you could.
No, I know from it is makes you a shem sacha, because I know that you're using mitzvah partner mitzvah, not mitzvah. It makes you a shem sacha. And the next stage to bring you up to a shayl is only if you use the money, or actually now we're saying the fact that you have a right to use the money already makes you a shayl, which is a bigger chiddush.
Well, it makes sense. So borrower doesn't use the money necessarily right away, but they know that they have it. So
exactly.
It gives them the confidence of the facility.
Yeah, exactly. If so, the Amar Rabbi Akiva love. If everyone holds you chayiv in Gneva Vaveda, the machlekes is whether you're allowed to use the money, and if you are, then you're a shayl. If you're not, you're not. What's the lefichach? Lefichach needs to say is really you say no, but lefichach because of this, yes. What's the lefichach? And the Gemara explains the question. If you can tell me the way our original premise was that you're arguing, but even Gneva, normally Gneva Vaveda, are you a shem b'sachar shem b'chinam? So Akiva says, look, you might think that you're a shame of sacha because the hana that you have, you don't have to give tzedakah. But since we say don't use it, therefore I'm going to say not like those who say that a shame of sacha is a shame of chinim. If you lost, you're not chayiv. I mean, I would have thought shame of sacha and have a grab yitzib. You would have thought they should have the status of Shem Yisrael like Rabbi Yosef. And you should be chayiv. Come out, shalom. What? Now that we say lo yishtamish ben, don't use it. The Shem Yisrael lo havina Shem Yisrael. We have no hana. And I always mitzvah, so we already explained either sleshkiach or nobody's going to take advantage of it, or you don't believe in Isaac mitzvah. And you're not chayiv in gnei vaveya. Aliyam, but you can tell me that, but everyone holds you chayiv. Keep pleading. What are they arguing about? And the shoyel, they're arguing about the shoyel and Einis. My leficha Rabbi Akiva. What's leficha Rabbi Akiva? It's a big chiddush that you're not that shoyel. All I should have said is Rabbi Akiva Eimer lo yishtamish ben. Akiva says don't use it. Automatically, you know that you're not a shoyel. Why should you be a shoyel? If we say don't use it, I will still think you're a shemer sacha because of mitzvah and all that. You should know you're not a shemer sacha. But if you tell me shemer sacha, you are. You follow Rabbi Yosef. The argument is if you're allowed to use the money, then you're a shayl. If you're not allowed to use the money, you're not a shayl. Then what's the fichah? All we have to say is don't use the money. Then everyone knows you can't use the money. Why would you be chayiv for chayis? I know you're dying. You keep on shtam. You're not a shayl. Not a shayl. But a chayiv b'ch yusim. Leficha Rabbi Akiva lamali. What do you need it for? Says the Gemara, you're right, you don't need it. Because of Tarfim uses the expression lefichach, therefore Rabbi Akiva uses it as well. But the Gemara, why Tarfim uses lefichach? This is what Tarfim says. The chiddush is, even if he did not use the money, even the shorted letter banish to Moshe Begavai, the moment Rabbanan allow you to use the money, is commanded ishtamish begavai. That means as if you already use it, but chay bach yusuf. Here is different than a normal case because the Torah mandates you have to keep the money on your premises till you find the owner. It's not like a normal case where I go ahead and I borrow it or something. So therefore, the whole thing here is a chiddush. I didn't even want to do this. You put me in this situation and look at all these layers of responsibility you're putting on me. And that's not the tips of fichah, because there is a chiddush here. Even though you didn't use the money, you already chayiv. Now the Gemara asks an obvious question. How can you tell me they're arguing whether you're a shoyl or not? What's the example the Mishnah gives? Avdu, if you lost it. Gneva v'aveda is a din of a shem esachar. A shoyl then is the next step, oinus. So if we're talking about a shoyl, the Mishnah sure says, if there was an oinus, you're chayiv. Why aveda? So the Gemara avdu ktani. So the Gemara kidden Rabba, like Rabba said elsewhere. Rabba talking about people sent the shkolim with a shliach to the base of Migdash, and depending whether, and then got lost, depending what happened, whether who's chayiv. The shliach has to reverse them, or Hegdish is too bad, or whatever, or the people have to give another again. So Rabba said, "Nignevu belistim bezui." It was an oinus. It was stolen, even though it says stolen, it was stolen by armed bandits. And even though it was Geneva, that's really an oinus. Avdu, so what does Avdu mean? Shetova v'sinos b'yam. The ship capsized. That's an oinus again. That's not negligence at all. And therefore, we remember, Aveda Tesha told us a few times, is cut of Lipshia, and Geneva is cut of La'oinus. But it's not exactly that. So Aveda here talking about a case of an Oinus. I want to be like a tarfin, that want that you can use the money while you have it there. I guess a little compensation for the tircha that you have all this time. Says the Gemara, what's happened? This person had this money. They asked me, he had money of Yisayimim that they deposited by him. Also, the Kabbalah Yisayim wants to know whether he can use the money while it's by him. Amalei, Maulish, somebody go back. Can I use the money? Amalei, so we just said, right? That you can use the money. Amar Abaye by the lav itmar Allah. Didn't we learn? Amar Abchalmai, Amar Abuna. Lai Shanu. You know what the logic is why you're allowed to use the money? Because you're doing the guy a favor. You're holding the money for him. You found the money, and eventually you can give it back to him. So to compensate you, the trader is we say, you know what? You can use the money while you have it, and you put it back when you finish. But in this case, he found only money. Over there, he had to sell it and turn it into money and everything else. Here, you got money, no tircha whatsoever. You put it in your safe or something. Why should we give him the right to use the money? A little bit he took an aveda and he took care of it for a while. Then he sold it. We say, no, you can use that money. This guy, he was given money to mine for Yisayim. So like Tarek Bahu, there's no tircha whatsoever. He took the money, put it away.
I guess the tircha watching because he's responsible.
But that's not tircha. Tircha, you don't do anything. Tircha is when you had to feed it. Okay, that's there's nothing you put aside. That's it. If you did the right thing, then you did it but you will see the tomorrow later. You're supposed to put it in the character. Whatever you did the right thing, is good enough. Here, there's a tircha.
Even if it's an earnest, he's going to be higher.
Only we're not giving him In that case, we're not going to give you the right to use the money, so you never a shayla. If you use it, you're a ganef. Whatever you're a ganef. Over here, so when you have an animal, you feed it for a while, even 30 days. It's a trick. And then you have to find a buyer, or you buy it yourself, and you have to assess it. There's a lot of effort involved, proactive effort. So we compensate you. You got money. But if you didn't have any tircha, no, we're not going to give you any compensation. This is like you found money of Aveda. No different. Turn to the guy and goes, Zil, go, yeah, but I didn't let me the ashla to permit it for you to enjoy yourself. At times go to Abaye. Okay, it says in Mishnah, Motza Sfarim. What happened you found? Because we talked about animals. What have you found Sfarim? Now remember, those days Sfarim were written in scrolls, and they could fade. You got to be very careful. The Motza Sfarim, you found Sfarim. You read it every 30 days. Why you have to open it up to air it out. If you don't know how to read it, you just roll it open. The Mefarshim say there's a difference between koide and yilmaid. Koide is more like a glance, cursory reading, and yilmaid is learning, is being ma'ayin. And being ma'ayin is you'll spend much more time there, and you'll be told, you're totally oblivious what's going on around you. We don't like that. If somebody else is safer.
We'll wear it out because
you can be open. Yeah, exactly, a lot longer. Don't learn it for the first time. Don't have somebody else reading with you together because you'll pull in different directions. This guy pulled it closer to themselves. The guy pulled it closer to themselves. He found the garment. You have to shake it out every 30 days to air it out and also make sure that it doesn't get infested with moths and other things. Only spread it out if it's to benefit the garment itself. That's if you want to show off the beautiful garment, so when guests come, you put it on yourself or something. The silver and copper kalim, and you use them again when they need it. You don't want them to become fajavit, rusty. But not to use it to a point where you're grinding it down and you let it fade away. Gold and kalim and glass kalim, where they don't really rust. and so on. And Zchuchis only gets a little bit to wash it. Lo Yigaben, don't touch them because they're so fragile, they will break. Actually, the Tul comes. Gold you don't have to touch because it doesn't rust, so don't worry about it. And glass was pushed scale, was very fragile. The real glass that we have today is only a couple of 100 years old. So we don't touch the glass. Ajiolio, matzah sack or kupa. If you found, let's say, a sack or a kupa, things which are very, not worth much. The chodavish ain't dark, you're a very chashuv person, and it's inappropriate, unedifying for you to pick up these scenes of picking up these things. Then we say he salam to mehem. Sometimes you can close your eyes as if you don't see what's going on. Second one, we found still in the marketplace, sham to men, you assess the money in manichal altar. And you know, you assess the money and you sell it, and the menichal altar. Now, menichal altar being machlekes in the poskim, what menichal altar means. The menichal altar means you put the money away straight away. Now, before we learned, you wait 30 days, 3 months. Here, you assess it straight away and you convert it into money and you put the money away. Or menichal altar means you can put it on your head straight away. You could be the one to buy it and you can wear the tefillin yourself. Menicham, you put it on yourself. Most of Ravina has a question looking at Mishnah. Much is what we after only once in 30 days. You may know how to read Goyal and Goyal in Shavmei. It seems from our Mishnah that you roll it. Don't say anywhere in the Mishnah you sell it and then you put the money aside. What's the chiluk between a sefer or tefillin? And by tefillin you say sell it straight away. Very simple. By tefillin be bar chavu mishkach shkichi. You convert it into money. You find the owner immediately. He'll buy himself a new pair of film because you go to any foreign store. He says they go to Beit Bar Chavu. That was a big cipher in the city, the Judaica in the middle of the town, and they have plenty of pairs of film there. In Mishka Shchichi, Sfarim Baruch Hashem today they say there's a big shortage of film because all these soldiers that are actually starting to put on film and buy film, which is amazing. Sfarim lo Shchichi, but Sfarim is not so easy. Remember those days with the printers, it's not so easy to find. He wants the original. Don't go ahead and sell it. Says in the Torah, we learn Hashoyel Sefer. Somebody buys a Sefer Torah Mechavesh. I borrow a Sefer to his friend. How they do you have no right to lend it to anybody else. Ain't Hashoyel Lahashel. A borrower has no right to lend it to another party. Now, what do you call it? There's we had a rule in Psachim the Dal basically if somebody came into a house and he thought he's buying it already clean for Pesach and he moves in right before Pesach, it turned out to be it wasn't cleaned at all. The question is whether it's a Mekar Tos or not, and now he has to hire help to quickly clean it right before Pesach. And we say person is happy, you're not going to undo the kinyan because you have to pay for a mitzvah. So what do you mean you're not allowed to lend a Sefer Torah? Isn't this person happy that other people are using his farm? So the fundamental difference between the Gemara there and our Gemara here is, as pointed out by one Rishonim, is that over here, you're doing the mitzvah. Over here, you're doing the mitzvah. Over there, by Pesachim, you're doing the mitzvah of cleaning a house for Pesach. So of course your money, people nichle have a mitzvah b'moineh, his own money, but that someone else should have hana for my money. Oh yeah, I'm there. I'm now worried about my sefer Torah. If we don't say the rule of nichle linish, even though by a talus in the shul we say that if a person buys a talus, if we say nichle, remember that like filling you could do the same thing provided you don't play around with a kesher. And then the person will be makbid, and then your whole mitzvah comes up to be your agazan when you eat it. Okay, so much further. Anyway, so when you borrow it, don't let somebody else. You can open them and read it, but eventually so don't learn it from this. You're telling you borrowed it, yet even though you borrowed it, don't analyze it and learn in depth. Somebody else. You store your sefer Torah with somebody else. That person, the nifkid, has to once every 12 months open up, and to roll it. You can open it and read it, and in the Shviloi Pascha Aser. But if you open it up for your benefit, it sounds from here, you're opening it up for the benefit of the Sefer Torah. And while you're opening it up, you're also reading it, that's all right. But if you're only opening up for you to read it, that's Aser. In Bishviloi Pascha Aser, you're not just open it up for yourself because it's an Aveda. Sumchas, a bichar if you brand new Sefer Torah. The Tanakhama says you do it once every 12 months, no difference, new old. Sumchas says bichar, a brand new Sefer Torah shleisha year. Every 30 days you have to open it up because it rots quicker than an older one. And the Yashin, older one, every 12 months. Always 12 months, which sounds like a Tanakh, but we'll discuss that. Think about it. If you shouldn't lend to someone else, my idiot Sefer Torah. Why? And nominate the Sefer Torah. It's a din that applies across the board. I feel anything. If you borrow anything, you're not allowed to lend it to somebody else. That here Rebbe learned that once somebody borrowed, you have absolutely no right to lend somebody else. Talked about a case where you sent a shliach to give, let's say, a get and receive something in return, and the shliach cannot ask anyone else to receive that thing in return, because I want my pekan to be with you, and I don't want the return to be yad acher. And the shliach says, from here you learn out that ain't hashoy lahashul. No, why? Because I want myself to by you. I trust you. I don't want to trust anybody else. They won't take care of it properly. So my a renter cannot sublease without permission. So you want to say for Torah, I would have thought you'd be happy that your money, and as I explained before, over here, I'm not the one who's benefiting from it, someone else is, and I'm not happy. We can open up and read it. It says here, if you borrow a Sefer Torah, you're allowed to open up and read it. Not the case because in the first case. Why did you borrow it if not to read it? What says you're right. The chiddush is not that you're not allowed to read it, yet you are permitted to read it. The chiddush is the next part, but you're not allowed to be ma'ayin in it too much. Even though you borrowed it, you can argue if I borrowed it, didn't the owner know that I'm going to use it and learn it in depth? No. Safe is don't learn it a new Indian because you can spend a lot of time and you're going to ruin his sefer. If you store a Sefer Torah by somebody else, you roll it every 12 months. You open it and you read it. What's he using it? How can he read it for himself? He said before, you're not allowed to use it for your own purpose. And then if you open it for yourself, it's bitten harm it, you're just allowed to read it. While you're rolling it for the benefit of the Sefer Torah. Meanwhile, you're using it for yourself as well. But in b'shvilei pascha for you only open it for your own purpose, also because you're not allowed to. You're not allowed. You're talking about a pekan. You're talking about a bar. You're talking about a pekan. You have no right to use it for yourself. No 130 days, over 12 months. About 12 months. Tanakama did the same thing. Once every 12 months, you unfurl it. Every 30 days you have to open it up to air it out. So Tanakama holds every 12 months, regardless new and old. Rabbi Yaakov holds every 30 days, regardless new and old.
Why do we have to change it because of Yaakov? Why can't it be saying the same thing as Tanakama?
Because then what's the point of saying it? Yeah, we have it many times. If you have an opinion,
change the 180 degree. You change the exact opposite of the opinion. Previous statement.
That means whoever repeats before must have made an error from the repetition. You shouldn't read a parsha, repeat it. Well, if you're reading it, you shouldn't read a parsha and repeat it. But you could avoid parsha, be targum, don't read a parsha and then targum. Well, that takes time. The longer it takes, you're using it or maybe abusing it. But never open a Sefer Torah more than 3 dafim. Maybe this will we learn out that when you do the Sefer Torah, you do open 3 dafim. You're not allowed to have 3 people reading together in the same page. Seems from here, Hoshnaim Kohen, 2 can read. And our Mishnah said that 2 cannot read. Can be inyan echad. They're learning one inyan, let's say one parsha of the Torah. You don't want 2 people because each one is pulling it closer to them. Can be I'm looking at page 1 and you're looking at page 2. Then I'm closer to page 2. I don't have to schlep it to me, and you're closer to page 1. And 2 and we can have 2 people reading. Once a garment out of once a third day, you remember the name. So you tell me shaking a garment is a good thing. Only if you have a weaver living in your house, then you should go ahead and shake your garment every day. In other words, it rips every time you shake it. So make sure you have somebody who can repair it. So what right do you have to take an Aveda and shake it out? Amri says, no, 2 different things. Here's talking about shaking it every day. That will ruin the garment. But once of the days is a good thing because it airs it out. Or I can give you another answer. Here to my 1 person shaking it, that's a good thing. But 2 people shaking it, they pull in different directions, you can tear it up, tear it. Another answer, like kasha. You do by hand, with the hand it's good. If you use a stick to air it out, You hang it up and you use a stick to hit it, then it's no good. Oh, but the Amra here is talking about that it's wool and the kislan is like linen. So Amra wool will rip because it's it's tough. I mean, it's tough. It rips faster than if it's soft. Amra Yechanan, Rabbi Yechanan said, Kosa, talk about Rabbi Yechanan giving advice on how to do things. He says, Kosa de Chashin, it is better to drink a cup of witchcraft than Veloy Kosa de Potion, not to drink tepid water. Warm water is dangerous. In a metal glass. In earthenware, you can have tepid water. And in metal also, like Soviets, that you never boil it up. You first boil up the water, and then it cools down, and now it's warm, no problem. You didn't throw in there any spices. It comes with this strong statement, and by the time he finishes, he narrowed it down quite a bit. So not so bad. Unfortunately your father left you a lot of money and you're a rich boy now. But you want to lose the money. You want to lose the money. He's being facetious over here. Yield much big day pish and make sure you wear very expensive clothes, linen or silk, things which rip easily. And use glass kalim which break easily and they're expensive. The Yiska Polim, hire employees, but don't sit there and watch what they're doing, and so to guarantee you lose your money here very quickly.
This is like watching something
Exactly. So you're being facetious, sarcastic. Exactly. Yilbert Beklei Pishton, Bekistner Ramisa, that the Roman linen which rips very, very thin, is like and rips very, very easily. The Ishtamish Beklei glass, Bezugisa Chivarta, the white glass, which tomorrow always talks about white glass. Not exactly sure what it is, but the Shamik says it's folded over.
Oh, I thought it meant like transparent. Like today,
you didn't have that in those days. How did you? The glass that they had 2,000 years ago is nothing like the glass we have today.
That's why they're transparent so bad.
Do they know how to make transparent? It says, we had in Marasaita, if I can remind me, at the end of the Churban Bayis Rishon, they lost the ability of making white glass. So Taisa says that it became very difficult to make, but it was still available. The Gemara says that they had. And others say that no, they knew the secret of how to make glazes, and they didn't pass it on. And it took many, many years till we sort of figured out again how to make proper glass. And white glass, Shami says, is doubled over, or maybe transparent. You call it white, okay? But and Yiska Paya Shemayim, what's the best thing to hire workers? Not simple. What are we talking about here? Targuma betrayed the nafshipsayu. Hire them to take your oxen and go ahead and plow next to your vineyards. And if you're not watching them, they don't care if the cow tramples the vines and destroys them. They don't really care. It's not their scheda. You have to make sure that you watch them, and so on. Today they say it's to do with construction workers. If you want to make sure you lose your money, just hire construction workers to renovators and don't ever watch what they're doing. And then you're guaranteed to lose all your money. Okay, have a good day. So tomorrow we'll start at 8 o'clock.